The truth about how long dogs can go without eating. Before we reveal the truth behind it, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And click the notification bell to stay updated on videos like this. All living things require food to survive. If it weren't for it, everyone would develop ill and eventually die. Your dog is no exception. He needs to consume a well-balanced and sufficient diet to keep healthy. What if your dog refuses to eat when he is supposed to? First and foremost, don't be too concerned. Dogs may go for long periods even when they have stopped eating. In the meanwhile, you'll need to do some research into why they stopped eating and how you can have a healthy dog again. When a dog lover and dog owner speaks as a regular volunteer at our local animal shelter, it tears my heart every time I see a dog coming in, plainly hungry. Many of these dogs were found wandering the streets as strays, who came out and couldn't find enough to eat, although their owners neglected the dogs many times. For example, in one scenario, the family left their dog in the house to starve. Luckily, this sweet girl was found, saved, and shortly adopted. Recently, the shelter rescued a pit bull named Nye, the most horrific instance of hunger I've ever seen. While not catching the owners, they probably used Nye as a bait dog to fight and purposefully kept him weak by starving him. With love and care, Nye is now happy, healthy, and excited to be under the care of shelter employees and volunteers like me. But if not found, he wouldn't have lasted much longer. Sometimes dogs go out to find food or drinking water. If your adult dog is home and suddenly stopped eating or drinking, it's probably a clue that something isn't right. What is the maximum amount of time a dog can go without eating? My dog is not eating. When to be worried? Possible causes for your dog's lack of appetite before you go to the vet. When it comes to our pets' daily lives, an adult dog may go for up to 3 days without eating dog food and drinking water without causing too much anxiety. An adult healthy dog can go up to 5 days without eating. Food, on the other hand, is what gives your dog nourishment and vitality, and bad eating habits will harm your dog's health in the long run. Even if nothing appears to be amiss, try to assist your lost appetite dog. If you have a newborn puppy, an older or sick dog, or if your dog isn't eating and has symptoms like diarrhea, fever, or vomiting, take him to the vet right away. If it appears to be generally a healthy dog, you can wait a day to determine if this is merely a phase of discomfort. Of course, make every effort to get your dog to eat during this period and ensure that it continues to drink water. As previously stated, a dog can spend weeks without eating in extreme circumstances. A dog that has been abandoned or stranded as a result of an earthquake, for example, may survive for several weeks without eating food. Of course, a puppy, an old or sick dog, or a healthy adult dog will not be able to last as long. The dog's capacity to survive without dog food may also be influenced by its size and breed. My dog is not eating. When to be worried? Things to look for when your dog loses its appetite. There are a few things to keep in mind when your dog loses its appetite in order to determine the reason and severity of the problem. How long has your dog been unable to consume food? When was the last time your dog ate this type of food? Do you have any additional symptoms, such as nausea, diarrhea, or fatigue? Are any of your other dogs refusing to eat as well? Is your dog refusing to drink water? This is most likely your most pressing query. There are various reasons why your dog isn't eating anymore, and the answer isn't straightforward. Some only require a quick trip to the veterinarian, while others may have a longer recovery period. 8 possible reasons why healthy dogs are not eating. Number 1. Mental conditions. Dog stops eating. Doggy is stress. Your dog may be affected by a change in routine. Dogs prefer routine, and if it is disrupted, they will become upset and stop eating. Moving houses, taking a trip, or welcoming a new family member are all examples of changes. Changes in feeding routine, as previously indicated, can cause your dog to get refusing food. If you must make any adjustments, try to do so gradually so that your dogs do not feel threatened. If you're adopting a new dog, feed him the same food he's used to. Then you can alternate between old and new foods on a daily basis. Every day, you should feed your dog at the same time. If you're too busy to care for your pet, consider hiring a sitter or purchasing a dog feeder. You should carry his belongings with you on vacation. He'll relax a little more when he's in his usual bed with his favorite toys. Canines suffering from depression are not as playful or active as other dogs. It's possible that their sleeping patterns will shift. This could indicate that your dog sleeps all night, only sleeps during the day, or simply does not get enough sleep. Over time, this might lead to irritation. They've lost interest in things they used to appreciate. Is Fido no longer interested in the snacks he used to adore? If this is the case, he may be suffering from depression. It's worth noting that these symptoms can also be found in other medical problems. Going to the vet and ruling out any other possibilities is the best line of action. They'll probably ask you about how your home life has changed, how often you spend time with your puppy, and so on. If your dog has been diagnosed with depression, the veterinarian will prescribe drugs or a new treatment plan to help him recover. It's usually a good idea to start by discussing your dog's nutrition and eating habits with your veterinarian. Anxious dogs have a tendency to be a little more erratic, and their actions will show it. These are some of them: aggression, trembling, barking, growling, hiding his tail was tucked between his legs. Constantly attempting to flee. Inability to leave the house without becoming anxious. Anger at being touched. Providing them with some privacy away from other people and loud noises. When your dog is fearful of the world around him, you should set aside a spot in your home for him to retreat to. Dim the lights a little, put him in a large crate, and keep it quiet. More socialization is required. It's possible that your dog is terrified because he was never properly exposed to the world. If you don't start socializing with your dog early on, it will be more difficult for him to get along with other people and animals later. Number 2. Examine your dog's food. Examine your dog's food if your dog appears to be in good health and the fact that he is refusing food only thing that concerns you. It's possible that the issue is with the food itself. It's typical for some dogs to detest the new formula if you change their dog food. Some dogs would simply refuse to eat the food. Examine the dog food's look and smell. There could be problems with the dog food rather than the dog. Giving your dog a fresh supply of dog food may address the problem in this scenario. Some dogs' digestive systems are more sensitive than others. You may be unaware that your dog suffers from allergies. If you can't figure out what's causing your dog's sudden hatred of food, contact your veterinarian. When it comes to your dog's health, it's always best to be safe than sorry. Number 3. Wait for 48 hours first to check medical conditions. If your dog isn't eating, you'll notice right away. Even if you have an excellent memory, make a note of when you first discovered your dog wasn't eating. If your dog is unwell, you shouldn't be concerned for the first 48 hours unless your dog has displayed other symptoms. There could be more serious issues if your pet has been vomiting or had diarrhea for days and now refuses to eat. In this instance, you must see a veterinarian as soon as possible. Ask if your dog has been acting strangely if you aren't the only one who looks after it. It could be able to help you figure out what's wrong with your dog. Number 4. Medical problems. A dog's appetite might be affected by a variety of medical issues. However, the following are a few of the most common. Stomach ache, infection, allergies, wounds or arthritis can cause pain. Arthritis is more common in senior and adult dogs. Other dental problems, such as gingivitis, parasites, autoimmune illnesses are a type of autoimmune disease. Cancer, diabetes, organ failure, and other serious illnesses. These are in need of immediate attention. Number 5. Examining your dog's teeth. If you discover your dog's teeth are broken, loose, or terrible, or if his gums are irritated, this could be the reason he isn't eating. Look for parasites, changes in your pet's fur and skin, and any lumps or injuries when inspecting their body. Do not hesitate to contact a veterinarian if you discover anything unusual. Number 6. Changes in diet feeding schedule. Have you made any recent dietary modifications for your dog? Your dog might not enjoy what you're serving now if you alter foods. Finally, if you haven't altered your dog's diet in a long time, this could be a problem. If dogs eat the same thing every day for months, they may become bored with food. Who wouldn't get bored, after all? Number 7. Pups as a picky eater. Check food intake. Cats have a reputation for being fussy eaters, but dogs may also be picky eaters. When this happens, the only thing you can do is try a variety of cuisines, until he finds one he enjoys and then stay with it. This will take a lot of patience, as you may end up spending a lot of money trying to find a diet that he can follow. However, if you work hard enough, you will succeed. Number 8. Out of boredom may be a reason for food refusal. If no medical difficulties exist, it's worth attempting to make feeding time more fun. Dogs enjoy searching for food and even working for it. Using their food in training can be a fantastic technique to ensure that your dog not only eats his daily share but also bonds with you even more. You may use the rest of the food in a puzzle feeder or a chew toy like a Kong. You may even set up a scavenging game in the garden by scattering all of your dog's food around the lawn. It's enjoyable for them to search for it. Make feeding time more entertaining so that it is not only nutritious but also enjoyable. What if your puppy stops eating? Check these 6 techniques for young puppies. Number 1. Wait first. If your dog refuses to eat, the first thing you should do is give them some time. Dogs are capable of going for days without eating. Just make sure they're getting enough water. It is common for a dog to refuse a meal every now and then. Dogs, like us, do not constantly need to eat. You might leave your dog's food available for them to nibble on whenever they get hungry throughout the day. Number 2. Treat your dog, fur mom. If your dog isn't feeling well, you could give him or her food that they don't regularly get. Your dog may find human food, such as chicken, or even baby food, so enticing that he will eat anything. To see if they will eat, start with a modest bit of human food. If that doesn't work, try adding a little more. To encourage them to consume their regular diet as well as the reward, mix it in with their existing dry food. Just be careful not to overfeed your dog with these goodies, since this can be harmful to their health. Number 3. Have an exercised before each meal. Making sure your dog is well exercised before feeding them can help them develop an appetite. Number 4. Flavoring is the key. Spices and herbs are not normally suggested for dogs, yet a dog's sense of smell is crucial in increasing his hunger. Mint, alfalfa, dill, fennel, or ginger are herbs that are beneficial to dogs, and a small amount added to cooked food may help your dog regain his appetite. Number 5. Feed at regular intervals. Divide the food into 2 or 3 meals and serve them at regular intervals throughout the day. To help reinforce the idea of mealtimes, don't leave food out for your dog to graze on. If it hasn't been eaten within 10 minutes, take it back. Use kibble as a treat for fussy dogs, and only feed them meals for brief periods of time. This forces your dog to eat their food and ideally become accustomed to it. Number 6. Change the brands of dry foods. If you're having trouble persuading your dog to consume dry food, try a different brand. Try a trial pack from your local pet store to discover whether your dog prefers a different brand to the one you've been using. Alternatively, you might add some wet food to the mix, which may pique your dog's interest more than the dry food. When your dog refuses to eat, keep an eye on his water intake. Dogs should not go more than a day without water. To avoid dehydration, your dog should drink at least 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight every day. Your dog refuses to eat but will drink water. Give it a day or two if your dog won't eat but will drink water. It's possible that your pet is suffering from a stomachache. You should consult a veterinarian. If you observe any additional abnormalities in your pet's behavior, the dog isn't eating or drinking, it's a significant problem. There could be a medical issue, in which case you should take your dog to the veterinarian. Dehydration, as well as vomiting and diarrhea, are all indications of dehydration. Consider it an emergency if all three are present. Your dog eats but refuses to drink. It could be diabetes, a bladder infection, a urinary tract infection, or renal illness if your dog feeds but won't drink water. These problems necessitate a trip to the veterinarian. However, if you served your friend soup with the dinner, this could be a reason for him not to drink water. Our conclusion is that, whatever is causing your dog to refuse food, you must take him to the veterinarian to determine the source of the problem and re-establish his appetite. Only a veterinarian can properly diagnose the problem and restore your dog's health. Finally, all you have to do is listen to your doctor's advice and act on it. If your dog requires medication to rekindle his appetite, give it to him. Give him some TLC if he just needs more time with you to be okay. Remember that your dog requires your attention just as much as he requires food. If you find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get more videos like this. Thanks for watching.